Damn it. Andrew. Oh, okay. I thought we spelled liquid.
Hi, it's Kim.
And Amy.
Amy, hi.
Mhm. Come here.
To you from the Urantia book, too. And we're eating. Gosh, I'm sorry. We're eating in front of you. Should we be doing that, Amy? But we are.
We are.
It's Christmas.
It's life.
Cookie. All right. So I got Light the Flame. I'll do Light the Flame today.
Yeah.
Today is December 17th, and I would just like to say happy birthday, Heather. If you're out there, I love you, Heather. I miss you so much. I think of you all the time. And I hope you'll be in contact again very soon.
Happy birthday, Heather. We talked once.
Okay. All right. This is from the Rig Veda. Rig Veda, ancient Hindu text. This was written from between like 1500 to 1000 BC.
Wow.
So it's a, very ancient source of, Sanskrit, ancient Hindu wisdom.
Beautiful.
Okay. O fire, may you be endured by us with noble gratitude, so you become the supreme blossoming and expansion of our whole being. Okay, so this is huge. This is to be grateful by the fire, for the fire that burns us.
You mean the fire that burns within us?
No, the fire that burns us, the fire that tortures us, the fire that, because like the seed, there are seeds that need to be scored there's seeds that need to, like in the forest fires here, the seeds that will germinate after they go through fire. That's true. Or some seeds need to pass through the digestive system of other animals, or need to go through some kind of what they call scoring or abrasion, right? Scoring, isn't that right? Score. Let me look
It's
at
a new
that.
term for me.
Yeah. So, or need to be cut. How to soak and score seeds, or they need to be soaked.
Okay.
Scarification. So this is something that there's not all seeds need this, and not all people need that either. But I mean, if we sometimes we do need certain kinds of difficult things in our life before we are able to come to certain important realizations, and to be careful, to be grateful even for those difficult times, right? That's what that's about.
Well, if we didn't have those difficult times, we wouldn't know how to be
We wouldn't-
grateful for the good and appreciate them.
Right. Well, there's certain that's difficult, but because we don't want the pain. It's like, save the pain. I don't want the pain. But that
Grow
when
through
you're going
what you
through,
go through.
Yeah.
You're so cute. Ready?
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
we're on page 29, the Universe Power Directors, section 4.
The Master Physical Controllers.
Yes, absolutely.
These beings are the mobile subordinates of the Supreme Power Centers. The physical controllers are endowed with capabilities of individuality, metamorphosis of such a nature that they can engage in a remarkable variety of auto transport, being able to traverse local space at velocities approaching the flight of solitary messengers.
Which are the fastest things anywhere. Yep, those are the fastest things.
But like all other space traversers, they require the assistance of both their fellows and certain other types of beings in overcoming the action of gravity and the resistance of an inertia in departing from a material sphere. I have to move the book to read it better. The master physical controllers serve throughout the grand universe. They are directly governed from paradise by the 7 supreme power directors, as far as the headquarters of the super universes. From here, they are directed and distributed by the Council of Equilibrium, the high commissioners of power dispatched by the 7 master spirits from the personnel of the Associate Master Force organizers.
Okay, so what are all these things? This just always blows me away. What is that? Okay, high commissioners of power, yeah, that are dispatched by the seven master. Okay, we know about the seven master spirits and the associate, but I don't know about the associate master force organizers. Okay, there's all these like offices and okay, so if your idea of heaven was somehow escaping bureaucracy, honey, you're out of luck. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Way more.
So, but it's okay. These are all, imagine this is like, okay, these are all very good, compassionate bureaucrats that follow the rules. They're divinely centered bureaucrats. Does that make you feel better?
Yeah. It's bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy is kind of like,
it's very intense in heaven.
I just think
in
there's
a good way, though.
Whatever you do, there's proper channels and there's authority to go through. And I tend to get stopped up by that kind of stuff, but I see how that stuff does support you. But anyway, let's keep going then.
Interpret the readings and registrations of the master frandalinks.
Frandalinks, yeah, there's frandalinks.
Those living instruments which indicate the power pressure and the energy charge of an entire super universe.
That's a frandalink.
Wow.
There's also chronodex. But anyway, we'll talk
While
about
the presence of the paradise deities encircles the grand universe and sweeps around the circle of eternity, the influence of any one of the seven master spirits is limited to a single super universe. There is a distinct segregation of energy and a separation of the circus of power between each of the seven super creations. Hence, individualized control methods must and do prevail.
Okay, so we're hearing that there's that each super universe has its own kind of separate thing going on, and going between them is kind of, like you might go from one super universe. Well, here the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, right? Okay, right, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Right over there, in the other, they might not even have water. They might have beings that have methanol in their blood, and they might be like Vulcan. They might have green blood, and they might have different. So there's a whole different kind of basis for creation. I'm seeing, because the physical constants maybe wouldn't even like our universes. So there's a lot of I don't know. What do you think? I know. It's just like, yeah. So the whole thing's bigger than I thought. Can I read then?
Yeah.
I can read a little bit.
For it.
I'm gonna go. All right. Okay. Stay with me on the screen now, because everybody wants to see. You're the one that's beautiful to look at.
You are.
You're the one that's beautiful to look
You
at.
have this beautiful inner light in her eyes.
But it's her hair. Look at this hair. Look at this gorgeous hair.
Irish.
And the very stylish glasses.
I have hair for almost every color.
Okay, I'm going to read now. Dollar Tree. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The master physical controllers are the direct offspring of the supreme power centers, right? We talked about last time. Last time we talked about the domain of the power centers and the supreme power centers, right? Okay, so remember what those were. Okay. And their numbers include the following. So these are categories of the master physical controllers. 1, the associate power directors. 2, the mechanical controllers. 3, energy transform. 5, primary associators. 6, secondary dissociators. And 7, the frandalinks and the chronodex.
Wow.
What the heck?
Those are cool words.
I know, I love those words. It's like, what the heck is that? Okay, not all of these orders are persons in the sense of possessing individual powers of choice.
Okay, cool.
Especially do the last 4 seem to be wholly automatic and mechanical in response to the impulses of their superiors and in reaction to existing energy conditions.
Okay, you had me 4. And then you lost me.
Well, so the last 4, so not all of them are totally like they don't have choice. Yeah. Okay, the last 4, like the energy transformers, energy transmitters, primary, associators,
No.
secondary, last four, 3, 4, 5, no, 4, 5, 6, 7. Energy transmitters, primary associators, secondary dissociators, and the frontal links and chronal links. Okay, so they're not entirely like persons.
Okay.
With choice, with conscious choice. Though such response appears wholly mechanistic, it is not. They may seem to be automatons, but all of them disclose the differential function of intelligence.
Okay, cool.
So they do have intelligence.
I'm trying to picture how that works.
I don't know. It's like the difference between an android and a cyborg
Right.
or something.
Okay.
Okay. Personality is not necessarily a concomitant of mind. Mind can think even when deprived of all power of choice,
Wow.
as in numerous of the lower types of animals, and in certain of these subordinate physical controllers. Many of these more automatic regulators of physical power are not persons in any sense of the term. They are not endowed with will and independence of decision, being wholly subservient to the mechanical perfection of design for the tasks of their allotment.
Wow. I don't want to be them.
Well, we're not. That's good. They're probably fine with what they are. But then you think, well, if they're like, maybe they're like a human brain in a robot body. That's a terrible thought. But
Wow. I saw a movie like that once.
really?
Mm-hmm. Alien body, though. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a good movie.
Nonetheless, all of them are highly intelligent beings. Okay. Well, like I said, there's all this structure in it, and I'm just going to let it be reassuring. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Many of these are not persons that they are endowed with will and I just want to make sure I read all of it. They're endowed with will and independence of decision, being wholly subservient to the mechanical. They are not endowed with will and independence of decision, being wholly subservient to the mechanical perfection of design for the tasks of their allotment. Nonetheless, all of them are highly intelligent beings. The physical controllers are chiefly occupied with the adjustment of basic energies undiscovered on Urantia. These unknown energies are very essential to the interplanetary system transport and to certain techniques for the purpose of conveying sound equivalents or of extending vision. These undiscovered forms of energy are utilized by the living physical controllers and their associates. So these same energies are also in association used by the midway creatures in their routine work. So I'm thinking of them coming and laying circuitry, like you got the underground power lines or like the power lines here. So when we lay lines of energy, so when we're talking about we here, it's good to see who wrote this paper. And that information is here, paper 29. It's got who wrote everything. Who wrote this? A universal censor wrote it. So they are laying lines of energy for the purpose of conveying sound equivalents or of extending vision.
So does it mean that the sensors are aware of the ones that aren't aware, or the ones that aren't aware become aware just for the purpose of that?
It means that these sensors are using these beings, these master physical controllers, to complete the work that circuits are working. So these sensors are laying these energy lines of energy and creating this pathways for exchange of information and transport and stuff.
But I got confused about the part that is unaware.
Where's it unaware?
I don't know. You set it up there somewhere. I swear you did.
Where was it up here?
I don't know.
These unknown energies are very essential to
Oh,
interplanetary.
they're totally different.
Totally different.
Okay.
So, right. So this is.
I get it now.
These are things, types of energies that we're not fully cognizant of here. Okay, but you go, and then maybe we can switch that because we're going to go through each one of those. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And we are at the physical?
Associate Power Directors, first group.
Associate Power Directors. These marvel controllers, in accordance with the ever-shifting needs of the constantly changing energy status of the realms. The vast reserves of the physical controllers are maintained on the headquarters worlds of the minor sectors.
Right. Yep.
And from these concentration points, they are periodically dispatched by the Associate Power Directors to the headquarters of the universes, constellations, and systems, and to the individual planets. When thus assigned, the physical controllers are provisionally subject to the orders of the divine executioners of the conciliating commissions, but are otherwise solely amenable to their associate directors and the supreme power centers.
Okay, so I think we're talking about like triage and dispatch. So, we got a call here, we got a communication here, that the energy line here between, this planet and that over there in that universe, we had that going on, but we need to get that up going. Okay, so there's been asteroid passed through there, and now that's messed up. So, we got some people on it. We're going to send out this Frandalink and that, over there, that one of those energy transformer guys, and those are going to go fix that.
That's cool.
Like that.
That makes sense.
So
Well, it does when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 million associate power directors are assigned to each of the Orvantan minor sectors.
Now remember, Orvantan is our whole super universe, and the minor sectors are like, okay, so there's like divisions of Orvantan, like there's 10. I think there's 10 major sectors, and each major sector is divided into like 10 minor sectors.
That's so much.
I know. And then within that, then there's universes, and then so
incredible.
Yeah, it's so incredible. Yeah, it's so huge.
It's beyond comprehension. I mean, we can kind of visualize it,
but
not even remotely.
Exactly. So it's so huge. So a lot of this, what this book does is just it drops you back in the stage of what you think is existence and what's going on in life. It goes from this to being, like that,
and it fries your brain. You're just like, it's exhausting to think of it.
Like that. But all of it's kind of managed at this, and we're all taken care of on an individual level.
That's the
insanity part of it. It's like so huge, but it cares about all of us. So putting that together has been this huge exercise for me to do, and to just think that that's possible, and then that's realized. It's like, and you feel so grateful for that.
And you feel about this big, you realize how small you really are in all of this. And
but Amy,
what's cool is that your day-to-day worries and struggles is so minuscule in the whole aspect of everything else. It's wow.
And you realize that this whole thing is for you, and you're going to be able to explore it all.
Wow. Okay. So we have
3 million associate power directors assigned to the Orvantan minor sectors,
making a total of 3 billion as the super universe quota of these amazing versatile beings. Their own reserves are maintained on these same minor sector worlds, where they also serve as instructors of all who study the sciences of the techniques of intelligent energy control and transmutation. These directors alternate periods of executive service in the minor sectors with equal periods of inspection service to the realms of space. At least one acting inspector is always present in each local system, maintaining headquarters on its capital sphere. They keep the whole vast living energy aggregation in harmonious synchrony. That's beautiful. Okay, I'll finish 2 and then I'll let
You want to go to 2?
Yeah,
Go-
because
go
my
on.
eyes are going to go after that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Mechanical controllers. These are the exceedingly versatile and mobile assistants to the associate power directors. Trillions upon trillions of them. Wow, that right there.
I
Are
know.
commissioned in ENSA.
And so is the capital of I think the minor sensor. I can't remember. There's the minor sectors and the major sectors. And says the capital probably. I could look that up, but I ain't gonna worry about it. I mean, the book is indexed, guys. If you get yourself a book. Sorry. We're in a hurry.
These beings are called mechanical controllers because they are so completely dominated by their superiors, so fully subservient to the will of the associate power directors. Nevertheless, they are themselves very intelligent.
So again, one of those beings that they're intelligent, but they always do what they and you see why they have to have like a really rigid control system on this, because this is stuff like you depend on, like, you know, the pH of your blood to be otherwise, you know what I mean, just because somebody screwed up there, you know,
The kids would have fun.
cars off the road like that, you know, stuff like that could be going on. But that's kind of stuff we need to have like regular, you know. Yeah.
You don't even really think about that until like you
I
see
know.
like a tornado. Like when you said that, it reminded me, because I was thinking of our
Like
chairs on the balcony.
Yeah.
And when there was a tornado, I think I might have said hurricane, sorry.
It's okay.
But when we had a tornado, I was on the 3rd floor and the patio furniture from the 1st floor came up, and I just remembered, like, wow.
No, I
in
know.
that brief second. So yeah,
some stuff like that can go on, but I mean, yeah. So it's okay, but that's why, you know, this probably needs to be
there's
pretty
control
rigid
in the
like that.
chaos.
There's control in the chaos. I'm sorry, I interrupted where you were.
Okay. And their work, okay, nevertheless, they are themselves very intelligent, and their work through mechanical
Though mechanical and matter of fact. Yeah, I'm sorry.
In nature is skillfully performed. Of all the master physical controllers assigned to the inhabited worlds, the mechanical controllers are by far the most powerful, possessing the living endowment of anti-gravity in excess of all other beings. Each controller has a gravity resistance equaled only by enormous spheres revolving at tremendous velocity. 10 of these controllers are now stationed on Urantia.
Right. So they make sure that all that stuff is on point where it's supposed to be, right?
Wow, that's crazy.
And they have anti-gravity. So they have like gravity is this optional thing for them.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
One of their most important planetary activities is to facilitate the departure of seraphic transports. In so functioning, all 10 of the mechanical controllers act in unison, while a battery of 1,000 energy transmitters provides the initial momentum for the seraphic departure.
Because that's like angel flight. So they provide energy for the angels to go like.
I didn't even know they had to do that.
Well, it's all connected.
I just thought the angels just had that ability.
They have wings.
Cool.
They don't really have that wings. What the wings are, what it says, you know what the wings are? They're like the capsule is the doors to the capsule that open when they're going to transport a soul. So then you can come into this little encapsulated area and they unfold their little doors to the capsule.
Winged version.
Sorry. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
The mechanical controllers are competent to directionize the flow of energy and to facilitate its concentration into the specialized currents of circuits. These mighty beings have much to do with the segregation. Oh wow, even up there.
Mm-hmm.
Directionalization and intensification of the physical energies, and with the equalization of the pressures of the interplanetary circuits.
Okay, so they're not talking about segregation of like personnel. They're talking about segregation of like energies. Like we keep this energy flow separate from this energy flow. Like this traffic lane of traffic is separate from that lane of traffic. This
but
one
not
goes
each
to
other.
Well, it's all part of the same thing, but it all flows correctly, because you don't want those
Yeah.
that energy
It would cause a
packages
traffic jam.
that are yeah, or accidents and stuff, and things getting, so we got to keep some space between, or the bridge goes, the highway goes over the other
Yep.
highway, so that everything can get where it's supposed to go. They do that, they manage that, all that's managed.
They are expert in the manipulation of 21 of the 30 physical energies of space.
What do you mean 30 physical energies? Like, I thought there was 4, like our physicists have talked about 4. There's the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, there's electromagnetic force, and there's gravity.
And there's 26 more.
26 more.
Wow.
Right?
Okay. These constituting the power charge of a super universe. They are also able to accomplish much towards the management and control of 6 of the 9 more suitable forms of physical energy. By placing these controllers in proper technical relationship to each other and to certain of the power centers, the associate power directors are enabled to effect unbelievable changes in power adjustment and energy control. And I'm going to stop after this next paragraph.
Okay, sure, no problem.
The master physical controllers often function in batteries of hundreds, thousands, and even millions. By varying their positions and formations, are able to affect energy control in a collective as well as an individual capacity. As requirements vary, they can upstep and accelerate the energy volume and movement, or detain, condense, and retard the energy currents. They influence energy and power transformations somewhat as so-called
Catalytic.
I know how to say it.
Yeah,
I
okay, yeah.
tongue twister. Agents augment chemical reactions. They function by inherent ability and in cooperation with the supreme power centers. That was so much.
Right.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're
Wow.
like traffic cops, but they're like managing and directing things that are huge.
I'm sorry, I just have a picture of a little bean on a little cop motorcycle with the hat.
But they're like the waves of energy is like,
Wow.
and they directionize, they form like the wall here, or the funnel where this can flow, and needs to keep separated from that energy flow, and that, so all that gets where it's supposed to be.
This is crazy because I wonder what people on the other side are thinking in their brains, because I had the little vision and then you have that vision, and to put all of our visions together, because we can't comprehend.
No, we can't. I mean, like, but this is
To
what
a certain extent.
But I think it's
wow.
valuable to share, like, the images that this is evoking, and it's stirring up your imagination. And it's true, we can't, so what's so remarkable about this book and the language is that it's able to stimulate your imagination enough, but it's telling you that it's structure.
Yeah.
So I know that
and there's like double
this.
negatives, and there's also like, it does this and then it doesn't. And I want to sincerely apologize if you hear noise right now. I live in an apartment, and there's 2 adorable little twins living up above me, and they're riding their little trikes across the floor. So if you hear that,
okay,
they're adorable little people.
Yeah, they're little people. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is so cool.
So it is, but it makes you feel secure enough that there is structure, there is this things that we can rely on. So it's not like everything is just harem scarum.
I don't know if anybody's seen Disney movies, but I think of like Inside Out, and I think of Soul, because it shows some of these energy pathways and being in between worlds. And I put it together with the little Disney faces, and then the little cop thing, and then you're like with the sound effects. So my brain goes to a Disney movie. Person.
I never saw that. That'd be interesting to see that sometime.
But in Soul, because they have all these energies that aren't aware, and they have,
I heard of that.
Yeah, where they have these, they can't have feelings, and some do have feelings. So it's really neat. And then the beginning of the book, when we first started this, I related it to supernaturals because that's the only way my brain can visualize is by certain shows and movies that I've seen
That
to
makes
help
sense,
me.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody's different with that,
Yeah.
depending on what you've gone through, and nobody's wrong.
Nope.
Nobody's wrong. So it's like this
That's-
freedom
Yeah.
that is what I guess what's remarkable to me is this amount of freedom is connected with this structure and this security.
Yeah.
So it's you're able to bring together this feeling of like everybody's free to interpret this and have these wild associations.
Freedom within limits.
But it's safe though.
Mhm.
It's like, because you're not in danger of somebody comes in, well, you're totally wrong about that, and you're off your rocker, stuff like this. But right? So you can just go with it. And that's what I feel like. It's so liberating to me. It's really wonderful to me. But anyway, okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to read it. Here I go again off this. Okay, we got to read now. We got to read
because we've got like
page
quite a bit left.
2 pages about.
Yeah.
Okay. And 3, energy transformers. The number of these beings in the super universe is unbelievable. Okay, I'm not going to believe it. I know. There are almost 1 million in Satania alone, which is our system. And the usual quota is 100 for each inhabited world. So there's a lot of them here.
Yeah.
Probably more than regular because we need help here.
A lot.
Because this place was in rebellion. The energy transformers are the conjoint creation of the 7 supreme power directors and the 7 center supervisors. They are among the more personal orders of physical controllers, and except when an associate power director is present on an inhabited world, the transformers are in command. They are the planetary inspectors of all the personal orders of the physical controllers, only by liaison with the more personal orders of the associate directors and energy transformers. Okay, okay, so I'm getting a picture of the more personal orders, like managing, like who can use my little friends that are kind of like half robotic, kind of like, so they don't get just used by anybody. You have to they control them. Okay. These transformers are powerful and effective living switches, being able to dispose themselves for or against a given power, disposition, or directionization. So these are against the powerful energy streams passing between gigantic planetary and starry neighbors. Their energy transmutive attributes render them most serviceable in the important task of maintaining universal energy balance. Natural. Everything is just natural, but no, okay, this is a balance that has to be maintained at some level. I think at the highest level, at the paradise level or the grand universe, master universe level, everything, yeah, sure, it's an equilibrium. But I mean, that's so huge. But here we need to, there's interest in maintaining like local equilibrium, right? Okay. At one time, they seem to consume or store energy. At other times, they appear to exude or liberate energy. The transformers are able to increase or to diminish the storage battery potential of the living and dead energies of their respective realms. But they deal only with physical and semi-material energy. Do they change the forms of living beings? But that's still a lot to do. In some respects, the energy transformers are the most remarkable and mysterious of all semi-material living creatures. They're in some unknown manner physically differentiated. And by varying their liaison relationships, they are able to exert a profound influence upon the energy which passes through their associated presences. The status of the physical realm seems to undergo a transformation under their skillful manipulation. They can and do change the physical form of the energies of space. With the aid of their fellow controllers, they are actually able to change the form and potential of 27 of the 30 physical energies
Wow.
of the super universe power charge.
That's incredible.
That 3 of these energies are beyond their control proves that they are not instrumentalities of the unqualified absolute.
Okay, explain that last part.
Three of these energies are beyond their control.
Yeah.
That proves that they're not, because the unqualified absolute, I guess, probably could have control over all of them.
Okay.
And remember, the unqualified absolute is the potential, or the I'm not sure if unqualified absolute has a conscience of. What I think of the unqualified absolute is a phase of deity that's kind of asleep and is generating potential.
That's cool. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So it's kind of asleep, and it's kind of just generating the potential, and the deity absolute is the part that's awake. And then there's also the universal absolute, which is like here, like that universal
Yin and
absolute
yang.
is
energy.
the line that's between them that regulates that balance.
Yep.
Because it has to be in
Balance.
Yeah. Okay. The remaining 4 groups of the master physical controllers are hardly persons within any acceptable definition of that word. These transmitters, associators, dissociators, and frandalinks are wholly automatic in their reactions. Nevertheless, they are in every sense intelligent. We are greatly limited in our knowledge of these wonderful entities because we cannot communicate with them. Oh, right, because they're not really like persons, like so. So he says, I'm gonna. Okay, all right.
We're
That's
good.
fine.
Blood sugar's a little low.
Okay. So we can't really communicate with these next 4 classifications of beings. I remember these prior 3 kind of like the first 3 are the associate power directors, the mechanical controllers, and the energy transformers. They kind of like safeguard these other 4, because these would be like power intelligent, like robots, or like that have extraordinary capabilities, right? Like high computers, high, and like, but they don't want anybody who's not authorized to use them, right? Yeah.
I thought they were energy though.
No, their intelligences, they're just not, is a configuration of energy. It's like a pattern of, so we're all energy, really. We're just, and our physical bodies are really just dense patterns of energy, right? So that's what these things are. They're
Yeah, see, I see them different than how you see them.
Yeah? How do you see them?
Energy that can manipulate and shape shift and change their form. And
well, they do that, but they still do that within a certain pattern. There's patterns inherent. Like we go, like we're different when we're going to the store than when we're going to church or when we're going to work, right? Or when you're at home, but they're still.
Yeah, but you were saying that you see them in like the being of a cyborg thing. I see them different. Like,
I don't see them physically like that. I see their capacities like that.
Got it.
I don't see them physically like a cyborg, but I see that in their functionality,
how
they're very sophisticated in how they can do these things that other people can't do.
Do you think it's like free flowing for them? Like it's just natural, and that they, I don't know. Yeah. See, like people, we resist, and we don't like being told what to do. And even though, like we get mundane in our work,
that's because we're free will beings, and that's true. That's part of us.
But some of these kind of have free will in a way, and others Am I reading that, interpreting that wrong?
They do. I would say they have free will, but they have more of a limited range of will. See, we can decide as humans, we can decide, well, I'm going to believe in this God stuff or I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
That they can't really, they don't have the or we can decide like, oh yeah, well, I'm with God, but today I'm going to go on a bender, and then I'll come back to it later, whatever, right?
Mhm.
And that's all kind of acceptable within this context of being human. But as we advance to these higher levels, there comes more and more consequences associated with
Yeah.
that kind of behavior. So these guys here
Or beyond that.
they're beyond that. I mean, they probably have the capacity. They could just decide, well, I'm not going to follow orders today. I'm going to say, screw this whole thing. I don't want to do it. But then they would have huge immediate consequences for that kind of a choice.
Yeah. Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So they really know better than to do that. And they
that.
know that they would. That, okay, well, then you got to be like swept out of existence entirely because we just can't have that. So it's like that.
That makes sense. Thank you for clearing that up. I'm a little bit of a resistant type person. And when I look at all the amount of responsibility that each one of these separate beings that work separately and then together, and they have intelligence individually, but then they have to be subservient. Like my brain's going resist.
Well, you're not in this classification of beings. This is not your classification. But you think of it this way. These beings are subservient and they have this level of commitment precisely so that you can have all of this physical realm, this world, all those stars in the sky. They are doing all of that so that you can have the choice.
And it's so
that you have.
Like,
that's what's mind-blowing.
I just don't like.
That's like I said, all of this is for you. All of it's for you.
What's for them? See, that's where my brain goes.
For them. For
just
them,
doing this is the reward,
have,
I guess.
Yeah, the satisfaction of service.
I feel like they're very underappreciated.
Well, sure, but but you have that mechanism within you that is able to see that something's appreciated or under, they don't.
I know, that's sad though. See, that's a humanness in me. But if I was more spiritual, because we're spiritual beings having a human experience,
but
and if I was more evolved, then I would understand. Yeah, but that's where my little human. They're working their asses off.
They're working.
Am I in trouble?
No,
I'm so sorry.
You can't say that. You can't say anything about body parts or functions.
So now I just got you in trouble. I'm so sorry, everybody.
You can do this though. You can do that.
You just cleared out my sinuses. Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah, I'm just teasing you.
Oh,
I love it. It's like, don't worry about it. You send them that love. And you know what? This all works because it's like you just offered, the guy worked the telephone pole guy or the guy on road workers on the highway. Did you ever drive up to them and give them, if you had a bottle of water in your car, or give them a cold pop or something in the middle of the day?
Yes.
Okay, they love that. They love that, right? So that's like these guys. You just did that. So here, somewhere out there, because Amy has cause to really appreciate and send love to those frandalanks and those energy transmitters, they're receiving that love right now.
And my now non-winged angels that have yours.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. I mean, they're prettier with wings, but that's part of it, this stuff. And anyway, okay, well, I don't even know where I was at.
I'm so sorry. No.
Okay. Energy. Okay. Right. I don't know where I was.
I think we were here.
Let's just go here. Okay.
Or were you down here?
I'm pretty sure I was here. I know I've finished up with these. They cannot communicate with us. They seem fully able to receive our communications, but are powerless to make response. So they don't.
Yeah, that's
so they're
what got me
receiving
down.
the communications.
Yeah, that's why I got down.
So they're receiving your love. They're receiving it. You just have faith in that. Okay?
I'm
So
too empathetic.
thank you. Thank you, energy transmitters, from the bottom of our heart.
Shush.
Really. I'm not kidding. I'm not laughing.
Okay, I can read again.
Do you wanna
'cause my
go?
eyes have rested.
Okay.
Energy transmitters. These beings function chiefly, but not wholly, in an intraplanetary capacity. They are marvelous dispatchers of energy as it is manifested on the individual worlds. When energy is to be diverted into a new circuit, the transmitters deploy themselves in a line along the desired energy path by virtue of their unique attributes and energy attraction. They can actually induce an increased energy flow in the desired direction. That is super cool. This they do just as literally as certain metallic
Mm-hmm.
directionize the flow of certain forms of electric energy. And they are living superconductors for more than half of the 30 forms of physical energy. Now that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. So there you go.
Transmitters form skillful liaisons, which are effective in rehabilitating the weakening currents of specialized energy passing from planet to planet and from station to station on an individual planet. They can detect currents which are much too feeble to be recognized by any other type of living being, and their services are invaluable to the broadcast receivers. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Energy transmitters can function with regard to all forms of communicable perception. They can render a distant scene visible as well as a distant sound audible. Okay, that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
So
appreciation.
it takes them to work on it so that we can hear the sound.
That is so crazy. They provide the emergency lines of communication in the local systems and on the individual planets. These services must be used by practically all creatures for purposes of communication outside the regularly established circuits. These beings, together with the energy transformers, are indispensable to the maintenance of mortal existence on those worlds having an impoverished atmosphere, and they are an integral part of the technique of life on the non-breathing planets.
Right, because in if they don't have, because sound waves or energy needs a
Yeah.
medium to move through. So when
So crazy.
yeah, I know. So when you have a different kind of an atmosphere, or there's planets that don't have air, or everybody's underwater or something like that, right? Then they have to have certain adjustments so that those perceptions are accessible, you know?
We just take so much
I
for
know.
so granted.
Yeah.
I mean, this is so like it's so intense and it's beautiful
I
and
know.
it's just like thank you.
Do you want me to go or do you want to go?
I'll read a little bit more and let you finish up.
Okay.
Primary associators. These interesting and invaluable entities are masterly energy conservators and custodians. Somewhat as a plant stores solar light, so do these living organisms store energy during times of plus manifestations. They work on a gigantic scale, converting the energies of space into physical state not known on Urantia. They are also able to carry forward these transformations to the point of producing some of the primitive units of material. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted reading this. Or depleted by this function. They act like living catalytic agents.
Catalytic. So
So-
by them showing up, just being there, the energy then that they have stored is available to manifest. Okay, sweetie.
No,
I know. I just,
characters in a whole new light. The energy forms and what they do. It's so, and we
Right.
just don't even acknowledge it. We just go about our day-to-day life without a care. We're just so self-absorbed.
I know. I know. Isn't it like liberating to think about all this stuff happening?
Yeah.
Like you don't look around here. You go for a walk in the woods.
You don't
and
think about
all those
everything.
energy transmitters. Like there's all these operating on these planets and these energy associators and these different kinds of things and transformers and frandalinks and chronodecks doing all this kind of stuff. And they're all doing that stuff so that we can even have this experience of walking through the forest,
And also,
walking through the trees. Last night we went through a walk for a nice walk in the with the holiday the trees in the park were all lit up.
Beautiful.
It was so beautiful, and we were enjoying
you forgot to be cold for a minute.
We forgot to even the ability for us to even have such an experience depends on these things
falling
working
into line and them doing their work.
So what they do for us is amazing.
Isn't it wonderful to be awoke and to be awakening? What a gift.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
During seasons of minus manifestations, they are empowered to release these accumulated energies. But your knowledge of energy and matter is not sufficiently advanced to make it possible to explain the technique of this phase of their work. They always labor in compliance with universal law, handling and manipulating atoms, electrons, and ultimatums.
In what? Ultimatons.
Ultimatons.
Ultimaton is the smallest type of particle. Yeah, no, ultimatums, yeah. But you never heard of an ultimaton. That's the smallest type thing. We think that quarks are like the smallest type thing. Sorry. Ultimatons.
I learned a new word. Much as you maneuver adjustable type to make the same alphabetical symbols tell vastly different stories.
Right.
Wow.
With the type setting here to move the words so we can make a word. They're moving these atoms and these ultimatons and quarks and
electrons
to things that are
The associators are the first group of life to appear on an organizing material sphere, and they can function at physical temperatures which you would regard as utterly incompatible with the existence of living beings. They represent an order of life which is simply beyond the range of human imagination. Wow. Together with their co-workers, the Associators, they are the most slavish. Slavish? Oh, I like slavish. It sounds better.
Slavish. Well, they're from like Bulgaria. Those are where Slavish people are from.
Of all intelligent creatures, I just have to stop for a minute because I'm so overwhelmed. I'm actually getting teary-eyed. I'm just so grateful and so blessed. And our religious and spiritual beliefs vary, and I can have an appreciation for what you believe and what you see and what you think, and I can put it into play in my spirituality and my belief. And it's just so amazing to have such an appreciation, and it just opens up your eyes, and it just makes me so grateful and so humble and so little in the scale of things. And I've been going through a very hard time recently, and this is just so beautiful to know that there's all this encompassing. It's really beautiful.
And we're not even done yet, but
I know. This is just so beautiful to know this.
I'm so glad.
Wow. I'm going to let you finish because I'm crying.
Okay.
Wow.
6, the secondary dissociators. Compared with the primary associators, these beings of enormous anti-gravity endowment are the reverse workers. So I'm thinking, okay, like here you got primary associators bringing things together and associating different things, bringing things together, and dissociators are pulling things apart.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. There is never any danger that the special or modified forms of physical energy on the local world or in the local systems will be exhausted. For these living organizations are endowed with the unique power of evolving limitless supply. If we could figure this out, we could solve the energy crisis and the global warming, and we could preserve life on Earth.
It's crazy because we talk about if we could just have our connections unstable. Oh, well. Okay, we're back. Yeah, it's just crazy because we want our kids' energy, And if we could
Yeah.
get their energy, it would be even better. We could outlive
When you were 15, it would be.
Mm.
But yeah, so these guys here, because when things are pulled apart, then energy is released.
Yeah, that's
The energy
cool.
that holds them together is released when they're let go apart. So they're like have supplies of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like nuclear kind of stuff. But we can do that in a safe way. But there's reasons why. I believe in that kind of stuff, and I think that one. But I think there's this, and this knowledge is being held from us because look at what we did when we had knowledge of just like basic atomic energy. You know. Okay. So I'm glad that's that information's withheld from us, but I think it is potential.
Yeah.
When we're ready for it.
Exactly. When we're ready for it. If. That's a huge question as a collective. Individually, we can get there, but as a collective.
We can't really do much to use it individually. You know. Okay, I keep going.
See if we had their energy.
Right. Then we could get this stuff done. Yeah, we could clean up, baby. Right? Yeah. They are chiefly concerned with the evolution of a form of energy, which is hardly known on Urantia, from a form of matter, which is recognized still less.
Wow.
They are truly the alchemists of space and the wonder workers of time. But in all the wonders of the world, they never transgress the mandates of cosmic supremacy.
You said world in all the wonders that they work.
Oh, but in all the wonders that they work,
they never transgress
the mandates of cosmic supremacy. So they follow the rules.
Wow.
Let me keep going. See, the Frandalinks. You know what? I'm wondering about those chronal decks because it's not talking about those chronal decks.
No.
Frandalinks and the chronal decks.
It
We're going
doesn't
to
really
talk about we're going to talk about those Frandalinks. Now, the chronal decks is what I understand is, here talks a little bit about Frandalinks.
And here's the Frandalinks.
But
so we are
okay, let's just read it, okay? Okay. 7, the Frandalinks. These beings are the joint creation of all 3 orders of energy control beings, the primary and secondary force organizers, and the power directors. Frandalinks are the most numerous of all the master physical controllers. The number functioning in Satania alone is beyond your numerical concept.
Yeah.
We're not even going to tell you how many zeros. They are stationed on all inhabited worlds and are always attached to the higher orders of physical controllers. They function interchangeably in the central and super universes and in the domains of outer space. The Frandalinks are created in 30 divisions, 1 for each form of basic universe force, right? Again, I only know about 4. Those 4, they're going in totally the wrong direction. They're trying to make those 4 into just 1. I know Einstein was so perturbed because he couldn't get electromagnetism to be equal to and have some definite relationship with gravity. But he's going the wrong way. There's 30.
That's crazy.
Okay. The Frandalinks are created. 1 for each basic universe force, and they function exclusively as living and automatic presence, pressure, and velocity gauges. So these are measuring devices, living measuring devices, right? So what if your thermometer had said, hey, did you know your temperature is high? Yeah, or
measuring cups and spoons,
measuring cups,
and a smiley face.
Yeah, or your measuring cup would say to you, hey, that's too much. You got to take a little bit out. That's not going to work well. Or if you don't even
listen,
you don't even know you're sick, and here's your thermometer coming out and say, hey, you know what? You need to take your temperature because you don't even know you're getting sick, right? I don't know. Okay, these living barometers are solely concerned with the automatic and unerring registration of the status of all forms of force energy. They are to the physical universe what the vast reflectivity mechanism is to the minded universe. Okay, the reflectivity mechanism, like you see like every person, every interaction is like a mirror. So it's like
Yeah.
it's talking and it's saying the same thing back to you. And so it makes sure you're understood. The frandalinks that register time in addition to quantitative and qualitative energy presence are called chronal decks.
Okay, wait, say that again.
So
Because I just want to.
yeah.
So it's
Chrono means time, right? So the chronal dex is a specialized
cool.
form of a frandalink. Okay, so there we
Yeah.
have that question kind of answered. Okay, I recognize that the frandalinks are intelligent, but I cannot classify them as other than living machines. About the only way I can help you to understand these living mechanisms is to compare them to your own mechanical contrivances, which perform with almost intelligent-like precision and accuracy. Right. Then, if you would conceive of these beings, draw upon your imagination to the extent of recognizing that in the grand universe, we actually have intelligent and living mechanisms, entities that can perform more intricate tasks involving more stupendous computations, with even greater delicacy and of accuracy, even with ultimacy of precision. Precision.
Wow. I bet that they're just like a computer living, but
yeah,
just like
like
machine,
Alexa,
and that's it. Yeah,
like an Alexa, but one that's almost kind of like Alexa.
I was kind of not wanting to do this whole thing today because I had a lot to do, but I'm grateful that we did. No, because I have a greater appreciation now, than I did before, of because you know what atoms and neutrons and electrons are.
Yeah.
But just to read it in that capacity and to visualize it in every little thing out there, and then the expansion of the universe and super universes, and wow.
Isn't that awesome?
Wow. My brain hurts. I need a rest.
Okay, and you got to get ready for your girls.
This was really wonderful today. It's a great way to start the weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Amy won't be with me tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll have Andy though. So
I have my babies.
Yeah, Andy will see us tomorrow. Okay, so wish you really a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow though. But anyway,
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
That was